Test Drive with Graeme Fletcher.
This week on Test Drive, we look at the 1994 F-250. Now, believe it or not, the F-Series pickup truck has been the #1 truck in North America for the last 16 years.
Not only has the F-Series been the #1 truck in North America, it's also been the #1 vehicle outselling Ford's own Taurus. Now that's not bad for a vehicle aimed at such a specific market. The big news for '94 is the addition of a new 7.3-litre V8 direct injection turbocharged diesel engine. This new engine offers power to spare. Horsepower is rated at 210, while torque is rated at an unbelievable 425 pounds-feet of torque. Run that power through the standard 5-speed manual box and you end up with a veritable race car. Acceleration tests place this pickup in the 9-second range to the 100k mark. If you gun this thing off the line, you get an enormous amount of axle tramp. This is something you usually associate with muscle cars of old. Not too shabby when you consider that the gross combined weight rating is almost 15,000 pounds. Slip the transfer case into four-wheel drive and tackling some steep hills becomes academic. The low-end power has to be experienced to be believed. As remarkable as all that is, the neat part about this engine is that unlike conventional diesels, this one will start at temperatures as low as 29 degrees below. The reason for this is the manner in which the fuel injectors are triggered. Traditional diesel engines use either an overhead cam or a pump to trigger injection. This direct injection motor uses oil-regulated injection. This gives the engine infinitely variable injection points. For cold starts, they advance the injection point. Once running, the ECM retards the injection point to control emissions. In other words, you enjoy the best of both worlds.
You know, it wasn't so long ago that anybody that was driving a pickup truck like this F-Series was driving a vehicle that didn't even meet basic passenger car safety regulations. Well, at long last, the penny has dropped because now you've got third high-mounted stop lamps, impact beams in the side doors, the odd airbag, and even ABS. Well, it's about time that the powers that be realised that people that drive commercial vehicles have valuable lives as well.
The suspension consists of twin traction beams up front and a solid axle in back with leaf springs at all four corners. The F-250 comes with heavy-duty gas pressurized shocks. On the road, the ride is stiff. Off-road, it verges on uncomfortable. Now, while I realise that the spring rates must be stiff enough to accommodate the payload, I would not opt for this package unless the pickup is to be used for heavy-duty work on a daily basis. The F-150 model would suffice for me.
This F-250 is a big truck. The hood line sits about the same height off the ground as the average roof line of a small car. Now that obviously makes getting to the engine very difficult. What Ford should have done, instead of putting these little Mickey Mouse plastic things in these holes on either side of the front license plate, put on a non-slip surface, then the consumer can get into the engine. Never mind the consumer, what about the mechanic?
During some pylon testing, the stiff nature of the suspension did allow the truck to run the course in fine fashion. The huge 235 all-terrain tyres stick to the tarmac very well, while off-road or on the building site they provide the grip required to negotiate the sticky stuff. Stopping power is provided by a disc drum setup with anti-lock feature on the rear brakes only. During the brake test we required 121 feet to stop from 80k. Despite having only rear ABS, the stops were straight and well controlled. The interior has a clean, modern appearance with a 40-20-40 front bench seat. The 20 portion folds down to reveal dual cup holders and a storage bin. The seats themselves are form-fitting and come complete with pneumatic lumbar supports. The radio and heater controls sit a long way from the driver, making them awkward to operate. Compounding the problem is the complex nature of the radio. Far too many buttons that are far too close together, a common Ford faux pas. The dash itself is complete in every respect and very easy to read. The XLT package adds some nice touches. Power locks, windows, mirrors, as well as an extra power point for the cell phone. Other items worthy of note are the box liner and twin fuel tanks with a button on the dash to switch between them.
Well, that's it for this week's test drive. These F-Series trucks are truly versatile. Skid pad, off-roading, picking people up that are stranded on the highway, you name it, there's a truck for it. And the real nice part, the 7.3 litre direct injection diesel is the cat's meow.